Welcome to the Third Wind channel, where today we're talking about the one, the only, Gibby. And the video title is How to Write Gibby Back into the iCarly Revival or Reboot series. This video was requested by you guys in a poll I made titled, Which video would you like to see most? And then 36% of you voted how to write Gibby back into the iCarly reboot. And before I start the video, I'd just like to mention that we've been talking about Gibby quite a bit on this channel. Recently, I made a video about how the Gibby series, or the Gibby kind of iCarly spin-off, was canceled. So if you guys are interested in that, the link will be in the description for this video. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So I posted the question on the iCarly subreddit. I said, if and only if Gibby would join the reboot, how would you write him back in? And I made it very clear it was for a YouTube video, and I'd like to go through some of your responses, some of the Reddit's responses. Let's just take a look and talk about some of these ideas. So first off, I love this comment so much, and I totally agree that the joke would be that Gibby is definitely doing better than Freddy. And just imagine the interaction between Gibby and Freddy and everyone else when they realize that Freddy, this guy who is supposed to be super successful, has flopped, and Gibby just randomly has success or something like that. I think that would be comedy gold. I'd love to see that. I definitely think that it's going to go that route. Next response we got here is from Bohemia La Vie. And she says, or he or she says, he will be weirdly over successful in multiple areas in ways that will make zero sense and are never addressed on screen, e.g., unqualified CEO of a top law firm who has to space, and has married into a royal family and is on second line to the throne of an unheard of but small rich European nation, like just bizarre over success. And I think that this idea is definitely possible. I think it's a little bit too Nickelodeon-y. Like, this is something that you'd see on like Drake and Josh way back in the day, some really random weird thing, and they could go this route, but I think that they're going to go with a more realistic route like they've been going with the show so far. But I do like this this direction. I think they're going to go with something similar. Next response we got here is from Archduke Alex 8, who says, God, what if he started a podcast and got into conspiracy theories? Like, he could definitely keep his inner Gibby and just he learned what social media was, and then he spun off of iCarly. He had his success, and then he just started a podcast and started saying all of his weird ideas and conspiracy theories and started believing everything he read online. I can totally see this route, and maybe like he co-stars with the iCarly webcast of like 2022. And iCarly talks about, oh, have you heard about Gibby's new conspiracy theory or whatever? Like, they could do that. I think that would be good for a few episodes, but I don't know if this is how you should bring back a character like Gibby, although I do like the idea. Moving on, we have a comment on the poll on the YouTube channel itself from Ryan Smith, who says, also, I think Gibby was away on a model gig across the globe, which would explain his absence during the season 6 and 7 of iCarly. Then Gibby was back in town for supposedly a model gig, but his manager dumped him for a younger model in order to attract the next generation, and with that he had no choice but to move in with Spencer. So that would be my take on how Gibby would make his appearance. So the idea of some kind of success, maybe modeling, whatever. We did see a quite macho Gibby at the end of iCarly seasons 5 and 6, so maybe he takes that modeling career and with his prosthetic head, and maybe he sees a lot of success, but with age coming on, all of a sudden his manager dumps him, and he hasn't used his money wisely, he hasn't saved up, so he ends up having to move in with Spencer, and that's how they write him into the show. That's a great idea, honestly. I could totally see that. I can totally see Gibby maybe has become slightly arrogant because of his status or whatnot, and that's why he's been alienated from his friends, as well as like traveling the world. And then when Gibby comes back, we can kind of see him slowly turn back into himself and just see how he interacts with the rest of the gang and see what they'll say about his past, whatever. I think this is a great idea, to be honest. Moving on, we have another Reddit comment that Gibby becomes the CEO of Gibby's, which is now a chain restaurant. Millicent wants a job, so Freddy calls up his old pal Gibby to see if he could get her a job at Gibby's. They meet up, funny stuff happens. Hopefully, Carly and the gang apologize to Gibby for how they treated him. Maybe he's in 3 episodes per season or something like that, like as a side character. So there's a lot to dig into in this comment. First of all, Gibby's is it was a real thing. Like the Gibbies did open in the basement of the school they attended. So I can totally see that Gibby went down the chef route, went down the food route, and gained lots of success because he does make good food. We do know that. And another thing that's mentioned here is that maybe he offers a job to Millicent or whatnot, or obviously he can somehow be involved with the iCarly web show. So that definitely works. That idea makes sense in the lore of iCarly and everything. And I love how Elphenis, that's the person who posted this, mentions how maybe it would be great for the gang to apologize how Gibby was treated. I feel like Noah Munch, Gibby's actor, would appreciate this a lot, and it would kind of make me maybe persuade him to come back in so that they can redeem his character and kind of the original show for kind of like the bullying, I guess, or the butt of the joke that Gibby was, and including him as a side character. If Noah Munch is okay with that, I think that would be great. I love this idea. It connects well with the lore, and it kind of ties all the loose ends together. Moving on, we have 999. Okay, there's a 6 in there, but it's mostly 9s. And this isn't really a theory, but more of a kind of maybe reasoning for why Gibby shouldn't be in the series, where he or she says, I don't think his character would fit in a modern adult setting. He was very whimsical and random, which was funny in 2007, but it wouldn't exactly fit today. And as I totally do see this, and maybe since the Carly reboot is much more realistic, real, the kind of awkward humor is much more in tune with the kind of a contemporary idea of how people interact. Maybe Gibby interacting with that kind of vibe will just make no sense and it won't be funny and it'll just come off as weird. I don't know. I don't really. I think that they can definitely make Gibby work in today's setting, but I totally understand this, and who knows, you might be right on the money. I just don't agree with it. I think you can definitely make it work, and I think that random is still very funny even today. Maybe I'm wrong. Moving on, well, let's just talk about what we've seen in these comments. We've seen mentions of Gibby being successful, a businessman, a model, a chef, a CEO, a conspiracist, even a monarch, and importantly, also an outcast. So, what do we take from all of this? What could they possibly do with Gibby? What do all these terms mean? Why are most people here? I feel like everyone is kind of pointing towards Gibby being successful. That's the first word we have up there, and everything under it, most of everything under it, it has some kind of connection with being successful. Even when you're an outcast, if you identify as an outcast, you find success in identifying that, if that makes any sense. So what do we take from this? Why does everyone think Gibby's gonna be successful? So successful. I think it has to do with the confidence he had at the end of iCarly, just his macho behavior, his kind of way with women, whatever. But there seems to be a consensus that he'll be successful. And in terms of what I think that he'll come back as some form of successful outcast. I think that the model comment was great. Maybe he'll find success and then he'll be outcasted, and then he'll have to seek refuge to the group. He'll have to return to his roots of Seattle. And I think that something with success and his original idea of being a bit of an outcast, I think that combining those two will make for a great story, and I think that's how you can bring him back. But the absolute best idea I saw out of all the comments, and a treat for those of you who stuck around this long in the video, this is the absolute best idea, and this is what I think they should do. I think it will make everyone happy. Is the prime reason has commented that Gibby comes back, he kicks down the door of Spencer's apartment and shouts Gibby, and then leaves and never returns again. Now imagine that happening in a season finale or a series finale. Just that moment, out of nowhere, Gibby does that. and never returns again. Like there could be a mention of him and everything, and Spencer's reaction and everything, and Freddy's reaction, and then he never appears again. Noah Munch doesn't have to do much. He's contributed to Gibby's character and given him a write-off, and it'll make for one of the funniest, most memed moments on television. I guarantee you. This idea is golden. This guy needs to get hired. So the prime reason on Reddit, this is a shout out for you, man. This is a great idea. And that's where I want to leave this video. I think it's been a fun little ride looking at different ideas for Gibby. Maybe we can do a part 2. Maybe we can talk about some different characters. But either way, with season 2 coming up sometime soon, it feels like they're wrapping up filming. Soon we're going to have some trailers probably. And of course, we're going to be talking about iCarly and season 2 on this channel a lot, and we're going to be doing episodes reviews as we've been doing for season 1. But if you enjoy iCarly and if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button. Hitting the subscribe button is how you really can contribute to the channel and make me happy if you want to. But thank you for watching the Third Wind channel. I've had a lot of fun making this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video. Good evening, good night, good morning, whenever you're watching. Bye-bye.